Leonard, there's a comment that came in by email from somebody that was at the Mount Madonna retreat that I would love to read. It's very touching, and you might be a little embarrassed, but I think it's...
I might be embarrassed?
Maybe. This is from Pete from Toronto, Canada. Dear Leonard, thank you for sharing your incredible presence and wisdom at the retreat. Thank you for showing me the way home. You are the living Buddha, the living Christ, and I am so grateful that I found a true master. The retreat really was the best experience of my life. I truly feel that it transformed me. I feel much more grounded in being and a strengthened resolve to master my mind and ego. Returning to the unconscious world was difficult, but I am up to the challenge. Returning to periods of unconsciousness in myself is painful, but I now know my way home. Life is good. I also want to thank all the other incredible beings that participated in the retreat for their presence. It was such a different perspective of how humanity can be. It was like I came to the retreat an alienated stranger and left in love with everybody. The courage and honesty that everyone showed was inspiring. I am still inspired. Thank you, Pete.
Okay, well, what a beautiful sharing. And can I tell you why I'm not embarrassed about that, Mary? I believe you refer to me as the living Buddha and the living Christ. I really ought to be embarrassed. I know that. But I'm not embarrassed, and I'll tell you why. Because such a beautiful expression coming from Pete is really a statement about him. And in a sense, it's really the living Buddha and the living Christ within him that's expressing such a beautiful expression of generosity. And you cannot see the living Buddha in another other than from the living Buddha within you. You can't see the living Christ in another other than from the living Christ within you. And the great irony is, as we become more and more present, we begin to see that in each other. Because what do you think the awakened state is? If you're fully awakened presence, you are not the living Buddha, you are a living Buddha. And if you add in a little love for God, you're the living Christ. It's pretty simple. And that's actually who we all are. I mean, that was the whole point of Buddha and Jesus' journey upon this earth. Not to elevate themselves. That was never their intention. It was Buddha's intention to reveal the Buddha within. You, sir, are the living Buddha. Wake up and discover who you are. Wake up and realize who you are. It's the awakening of pure consciousness within you. And if in your awakening you happen to feel and sense and experience the presence of God in everything, and you feel one with everything, and you feel a total surrender to the will of God in that state, then of course you're the living Christ. Christ is a state of consciousness. Buddha is a state of consciousness. They're very close to each other, just a slightly different flavor. So thank you, Pete, for your beautiful generosity. It's a beautiful statement about you. And as Jesus said, and I wonder why he said it, he asked his disciples, "Who do you say I am?" He didn't tell them who he was. He asked, "Who do you say I am?" Because he knew that that would be a reflection of them, not him. Do you get what I'm saying? Who do you say I am? For myself, I don't need to know. I'm quite comfortable not knowing who I am. And it was quite a journey to get to a point of relaxation with not knowing who I am. I don't know who I am, I just am. That's the dilemma of awakening. If you're fully awakened, you no longer know who you are, because you're no longer defined by your past. You're no longer defined by your story. Even if I say, I am enlightened, I would immediately say, who is enlightened? I am.